Session 9, 2001 psychological horror film made by Brad Anderson, perhaps most notably director of The Machinist. This stars David Caruso and Peter Mullan and follows a group of 5 contractors who take on a job of cleaning up an old derelict mental hospital that's been closed down for 15 years. They're supposed to clean it up of all remaining traces of asbestos in there. But as they start this stressful and dangerous job, each of them also starts battling their own demons in this creepy abandoned building. So I think this is a solid movie, but you have to be aware, if you go into it expecting a straight horror film, you might be disappointed. It's more of a slow burning drama that slowly but steadily raises the quiet tension, ramps things up without basically any scary or supernatural scenes whatsoever, right up until the final 15 minutes or so, where a reveal happens, and that makes the movie absolutely horrifying. But up until then, the film plays out more like a psychological drama that tackles the theme of men grappling with their own inner demons, their fears of the bad things that they might carry inside, the weakness and the evil that might come out of control. It's a very male film in a sense, not only because those problems that these guys have are typical more for men, not only because it literally is 5 men in the film, but I'd argue it could never have been women, because one of the interesting things about the film is each of those guys is dealing with their own problems on their own internally. None of them ever openly discuss their experiences and fears and plans with the others, with the exception of like maybe 1 or 2 quick conversations that touch on that subject, but not in detail. Each of them really keeps their own counsel. Each of them has a secret kept from the rest, which I think is very in line with how men typically go about problems in life. We tend to work them out internally and tackle them alone. Whereas I think if you had some of these characters, or all of them, be female, they would absolutely talk and discuss those things amongst themselves, which, by the way, is not a criticism in any way. In fact, talking about stuff may have meant that the tragedy at the end could have been prevented or avoided to some extent. There's also an exploration of repressed memories. The subplot of Mike listening to the old patient tapes makes you think that this is going to lead into a ghost story, but instead it foreshadows what is going on with one of the other characters. I think that the twist is very well done. You are all the time suspecting one specific guy, and then the movie pivots and makes you realize how wrong you've been. I also think that the atmosphere of the hospital is excellent, which is probably due to the fact that the film was shot on location at the actual derelict Danvers Hospital. That's a real place that they've been to. So no wonder that the locations and sets and the production design look so realistically creepy, because that's what they've been like in real life. I think the performances are solid. I like the way that the characters are introduced and made distinct right from the get-go. You quickly get all the dynamics between these guys and who is who within the group. So it's certainly one of those lesser-known movies that, despite a largely unknown cast and visibly small budget, manages to actually be, and still remain, an interesting watch.